Something under our floor learned our names. My wife and I moved into an old rental house with our dog, Cooper, at the beginning of winter. The house was cheap, quiet, and far enough from the road that we could barely hear passing cars. The landlord warned us that the pipes made noise at night, but for the first week, everything felt normal. Then, Cooper started sleeping beside the heating vent in the hallway. He would lie there for hours, with his head pressed against the metal grate, staring down into the darkness. Sometimes his tail would move slowly, as if someone beneath the floor was speaking to him. When I called his name, he would look at me, confused, then return to the vent. A few nights later, I woke to scratching under the bedroom floor. It started near the window, moved beneath the bed, and stopped directly under my side. 3 slow scratches, a pause, then 3 more. I turned on the light, and the sound stopped immediately. The next morning, I checked the crawl space entrance behind the house. It was sealed with an old wooden panel and 2 rusted bolts. There were no tracks in the snow, so I told myself it was an animal. That night, Cooper began growling at the hallway vent, not barking, not whining, a deep, steady growl I had never heard from him before. My wife came out of the bedroom and asked what was wrong. Before I could answer, a voice came through the vent, quiet and muffled, but unmistakable. Cooper. It sounded exactly like my wife. She grabbed my arm. Cooper stopped growling and leaned closer to the grate. The voice called him again. Cooper, come here. My wife was standing beside me with both hands over her mouth. I pulled the vent cover away and shined my flashlight inside. All I could see was dust, a narrow metal duct, and darkness. Then something scratched from the other side of the duct. Cooper snapped at the opening, and we dragged him into the bedroom. We barely slept. The next morning, I called the landlord. He laughed and blamed raccoons even after I told him about the voice. He said the ducks carried sounds strangely and promised to send someone later that week. No one came. Over the next 3 nights, the thing under the house kept talking. At first, it only used my wife's voice. It called Cooper. It whispered from beneath the kitchen while she was upstairs. Then it began using mine. I heard myself coughing under the living room floor. I heard my own voice say, "Can you help me?" from inside the wall beside the stairs. Every time we followed the sound, it moved somewhere else. On the 4th night, it learned my wife's name. I woke at 2:17 a.m. because Cooper was trembling against the bedroom door. From the hallway vent, my voice whispered, "Emily." She opened her eyes beside me. The voice repeated her name, a little louder. "Emily, come downstairs." I shouted at it to stop. The house went silent. Then, from beneath our bed, my wife's voice whispered my name. After that, we packed a bag and decided to leave at sunrise. We kept every light on and sat together in the living room, with Cooper between us. Around 4 in the morning, we heard the crawl space panel behind the house creak open. One bolt scraped against wood, then the other. I grabbed a kitchen knife and moved toward the back door, but Cooper suddenly began barking at the hallway vent. A voice came through it again. This time it sounded like a child. "There are 3 of you upstairs." We froze. The voice continued, slowly counting. "Emily, Cooper, Daniel." Then it laughed in my voice. I pulled my phone out to call the police. Before I could unlock it, something knocked beneath the floor. 3 knocks under Emily, 3 beneath Cooper, then 3 directly under me. The voice said, "Now I know where everyone sleeps." We ran. We left through the front door without our bags and drove until the house disappeared behind the trees. The police checked the property later that morning. The crawl space panel was open, but they found no one underneath. They did find deep grooves in the dirt beneath every room, as if something heavy had been dragging itself under the floorboards for weeks. We never went back. The landlord mailed our belongings to us and kept our deposit. Months later, a new family moved into the house. I know, because one evening I received a message from an unknown number. It contained a short audio recording. At first, there was only static. Then I heard Cooper barking. After that, my own voice whispered, "Don't answer it. It knows you're awake.